Hey guys, still Flyingsoul, live from Novosibirsk. In the previous video, I was just told you about a little bit the propaganda, and I mentioned the healthcare in Russia. Okay, if you come from the United States, which has a completely opposite system when it comes to healthcare, you have to pay everything in United States. And if you have a lot of money, you get a very good healthcare. Well, if you know, in Russia, for Russian citizens, healthcare is completely free. Completely free. But if you want a really good treatment, if you want a really good healthcare, you have to pay the same, because you have to go to private clinic. You just can use a public healthcare. Because, usually, but of course, there are some places or some professional doctors who can work really good, but usually it lacks of professionality in Russia, because you have to know that doctors, and in general, the whole healthcare and public healthcare, it's paid nothing compared to our countries. So doctors are paid nothing. I mean, very few money. And if you have to study for all your life, because being a doctor is very hard everywhere in the world, why you should work here in Russia in the public healthcare if you get so few money? So that's the biggest problem about Russian healthcare. And now I'm gonna tell you now about my personal experience. When I was in Kazan 2 years ago, I accidentally broke my back. I'm not gonna tell you how I did it. It was in a very stupid way that you cannot even imagine. But anyway, I broke my back. I went to the hospital with the emergency, and I had to stay there for almost 2 weeks. Just lay down. I couldn't move because my back was broken. I can tell you, okay, I was in Tatarstan. First, you have to know that Tatarstan is a special region of Russia. It's a republic. So they have their own parliament, their own president, so they have special rules. And also it's treated a little bit better than any other region of Russia from the Russian government. So in the hospital where I was brought at that time, it was one of the best hospitals in Kazan. And I can tell you, really, that it's even better than many hospitals in terms of infrastructure, in terms of facilities, in terms of equipment. It was really good, like 5-star hotel compared to many hospitals that we have in Italy. But if on the facility side, let's say, equipment and whatever, it was really good, on the other side, it was a huge lack of professionality. So it was really hard time. And at that time, I couldn't speak Russian because I moved to Russia like since almost, not even 2 months, I moved to Russia. And I couldn't speak Russian at all. Luckily, I had a lot of acquaintances that helped me to communicate with the staff. But it was really hard. And they really do not talk to each other. It was really hard time. Then, another thing is that since the first time I went to the hospital, they tried every day to steal money from me. They say, you have to pay this, you have to pay this, you have to pay this. And I always say, look, I have my insurance, my medical insurance, and they cover all the cost. And they say, no, because this is not right. Here it works in a different way, because in Kazan we have different rules. No way, because I talked with my medical insurance personally at that time, and they assure me that I shouldn't pay anything. But that's the problem, in Russia. They always try to, in some of this situation, to steal your money. So if you want a better assistance, let's talk about assistance. That's because this is the biggest discriminant. If you want a better assistance, you need to pay. So that's why many Russians that can afford it, they prefer to go to private clinic. They can have quick assistance and they can have better assistance. Or they just go to other countries. Because the public health here, it's a big problem. So I stayed 2 weeks in this hospital, and after 2 weeks I realized that I could leave just 1 week before if the organization. I mean, it was about like only problem of communication between my insurance. This is a Russian insurance, by the way, through the medical staff. They lost just 1 week to pass each other's documents. So I had to stay 1 week more because of this reason, and I stayed 2 weeks in this hospital. And then my insurance at the end was able to send me back home without any cost. Everything was included. So I was lucky at the time that I had this insurance. If you make a it was quite expensive, of course. I made it in Italy, but if you get a medical insurance here in Russia, you won't get almost anything. It's true that it's really cheap, but you don't get almost anything. With my insurance, I could have a lot. So that's basically my story, and that's what I want to tell you about the healthcare here in Russia. So it's still not really good. It still really doesn't work really good. Of course, a lot of things are becoming better and better through times. It's normal. But in general, public health is not the best. It's not the best thing here in Russia. So that's all for now, and see you for the next video. Bye bye.